Yeah.
Woo.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to another Astral Avenue Magdalena Blues. I'm your Dungeon Mister, joined by all of our players who aren't sick this evening.
That's all
That's
of us.
us.
That's us. Yeah, it is.
I mean, you might be sick in some ways, but Dr. Jellybean is sick this evening, so her role will be played by nobody, and instead we get a boys' night. So you know what that means. There's
PK.
No
yeah,
telling what's
yeah,
gonna happen.
usually just dumb choices in general.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
Same thing as every other time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just But before we get into the same thing as every other time, let's talk about the same thing as last time.
Last time?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. You guys were traversing the Astral after leaving the cluster of asteroids. Finally made it to your destination, or at least somewhat how Flossenrix had described it. Colors in the clouds were right, but you found no tear in space like he had mentioned. Instead, you found swirling lights of gold gleaming around you, almost like eyes. Turned out they were eyes, some sort of being speaking to it through Dr. Jellybean's tablet. It seemed a smidge depressed, and occasionally let out tears of light from its eyes. And it would seem this being had heard all of the wishes that people had made throughout the universe, unable to help them, sniffling at the thought of such hurt and bad in the world. You did, however, cheer it up by telling it of all the good that it doesn't hear about. As people don't wish for good things when they're already going good, usually. And this brought tears of joy as it seemed delighted. You even named it Tarsal. Noticing its tears pooling up below you, you started to inspect the puddle in space. It looked as if it were a portal of some sort within the tears. Like a tear in space, not tears. Aethel flew out to them and tried to touch it, only to get sucked right into the tears. Tears? Well, quickly, the Magdalena and crew followed suit into the tear, leaving Tarsal alone once again. As you all appeared through, you found you were in a wormhole of sorts, a vortex-like tunnel that your vessel could float within. And catching up with Aethel, you discovered this place was indeed strange. Astral winds blew through the ship, strange ghosts from space, like space ghosts, did appear and distracted you for a time, causing mayhem and remarking about your vessel. You even did find what you believe could be a Kurgan fly caught at the edge of a wall of this wormhole. And after some time, you shot out at it with your ballista harpoon, catching it. And though it did start to break free, it dragged the Magdalena through different holes and nearly split off from you. But as Malcolm and Aethel and Tobias, hanging on to the rope being flung around, only bound to the ship within by a grappling hook. As if that wasn't bad enough, you noticed the form of a familiar, large Nautiloid peering through the edge, a tear or tear in this wormhole, slinging brains that landed on your deck. Almost like a catapult of brains got launched towards you. But as these brains kind of rolled onto your deck, they quickly grew clawed legs. This is where we're going to pick up. Everybody roll initiative, please. That's what we're doing. Everyone is going to roll initiative. We're going to bring you guys to a little mapsy map.
Just realized I never opened my character sheet. I opened everything else.
You should probably have your character sheet open for this.
Well, normally
Just
I do.
play it blind, baby.
I'd get close. I know most of my numbers.
Malcolm, how did you roll lower than me, bud?
As I
It
actually
takes
have
a
to.
special set of skills.
All right, and then
You might notice some white screen for a moment because I'm an idiot.
Okay, 15 says I add a D12 to this number.
Let's add a D12. instead you get a 20.
Yeah.
No, I see, because it didn't matter in this moment anyways. But it could have. It very well could have. It still might later. But as we are in the midst of battle, let me know if this music gets too annoying or if it's too loud and too crazy. But I feel like it's appropriate because it's called cephalopod. So just deal with it.
Appropriate.
And here's the cephalopod down here. But Tobias, you are up first, all the way up here, as you are being dragged along. You are on the rope. The last thing you did was grapple on, toss the grappling hook, and hooked it onto the top of the stairs.
Okay, so I'm gonna climb around Aethel. Sorry, dude. Hold on 1 second. I'll get you back to the ship. And we're moving, so there's like wind and everything flying our way.
It's weird. There's not wind. It's more like gravity is flowing past you. The weird sensation.
Okay. I was gonna try to use that momentum to slide down the rope.
Give me an acrobatics check.
That seems fair.
Acceptable.
Oh, that's a nat 1,
Hey,
so I'm
roll the
gonna
one then.
reroll that.
Reroll that. You are a halfling, and hopefully you are lucky like a halfling should be.
Like they should be.
Yeah. See, that's
Turning that one as you start to slip, you're like, nah, that's not how you slide down a rope. You slide down the rope, I'd say with a 20, increase your movement by 10 feet.
Okay. 20. I'm gonna look at Thomas. Help me pull the rope, dude.
As he's starting to look at the ballista, we're gonna get murdered by whatever that thing is.
Yeah, we got to get the guys back on. So that's my action to slide down the. No,
Yeah, that's just your movement.
Okay, so for my action, my goal is to use the ballista and try to pull the rope around it to try to tighten it and try to pull Aethel and Malcolm back towards the ship.
Say one or the other. Are you trying to pull? Because it's also pulling on the Kurgan fly. Are you trying to pull it, or are you trying to tighten it and actually lash it to something that is not just the end of a grappling hook?
I'm gonna try to lash it first, which will be,
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check as you try to tie this rope around the ballista frame. With a
success or failure. I have
15.
to know first before I roll my next thing.
Well, if you would wait and listen, with a 15, you tie it pretty well. It's already kind of taut, so you just kind of wrap it around in the right kind of ways. It's little bits of give it just enough time to just kind of quickly wrap it around the like handle and the frame that is tied to that is bolted down to the ship.
Okay. Bonus action, create a time ghost.
Okay. Create a time ghost. I'm going to say on initiative 20, Dr. Jellybean will just kind of say, I don't know, I don't feel so good. And oh, Blade, we got brains up here. But in her voice more.
Mm-hmm.
As she stumbles down the ladder.
What would you like?
Which will take us to Aethel, as you are currently tied in between these two ropes.
Yep. Let's see. I was tied to the end of this one, and this one was also tied to me.
Yeah, you're tied to the end. Yeah, you're tied to the end of this one, and this one. They are both tied to you. You are tied to. You're between a rope and a rope place.
He is the linchpin of the two ropes.
Yes.
That sounds comfortable.
Time to start pulling yourself back to ship, buddy.
I'm gonna try. What's the best way to do that? Yeah, I'm just gonna do some measurement real quick. Where is everybody? That's
This curtain fly's got a harpoon sticking through it.
Well, that's life. What are you gonna do?
I'm just letting you know that's how it's attached.
Yeah, I mean, it'll rip out eventually, and it'll be a problem for us, but what are you gonna do about it? I'm going to try, and I guess the two of these together, so that when I move, like when I decide to get out of this,
Yeah.
that they will stay together.
So you are not the linchpin. All right, trying
Yes, I will no
to
longer be the linchpin.
untie and kind of retie around instead of you just to each other. Give
I'm
me.
honestly willing to tie them together and then try and get out afterwards.
Okay.
I really want you to do a good job.
Give me a.
I do too.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
I will do that. One sleight of hand, a skill I am very
Great
good
at. Very good at.
I'm known sleight of hander.
Yes, you are.
You know how to tie a rope. Yeah. As-
Surprisingly.
without, you just kind of do some fancy knot work as you don't untie yourself. You just kind of retie it additionally, like additional ties to where you can almost like create the tie that's around you into a loop that you can probably get out of.
Yeah, that I can
With
slide
another-
out
with
and
another
it'll just
action.
become taut. Yeah, I don't know if that was my action. or
That
my
will be your
move
action to tie the rope.
That's fine. I could try and move out of the loop.
It would be your action to kind of break free,
Release,
essentially.
that's
Yeah.
fine. That's totally
'Cause essentially, you're grappled by it, so you need to. You've made additional ties and additional knots.
Then for now, because I know this will probably matter a little bit, I'm going to effectively cheat.
He's gonna cheat.
I'm gonna double check what this type is. Okay, I was right. I'm going to use my maybe that feature again. Where is it? Embodiment of Law feature to cast Bless as a bonus action. And I'm going to bless these three right here. 1, 2, and 3.
All
You
right.
do a cool Judge Dredd line. And you say, "I am the law."
More like, don't screw it up.
Less cool, but more applicable.
Yep.
Let me.
All
spend
right.
my
Getting
spot.
Tomas, Tobias, and Malcolm.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I can cast it first. There, and I've cast it.
Which will take us to Oblate. You hear this yelling from the ship. Yeah, you know there's brains on the ship. You felt them land. You can see them from where you're at, homing the Magdalena, but you are below deck in the captain's chair. Well, in the helm, as it were. The
Well, Doctor,
cerebro.
you feeling okay to take over?
No,
Can
I don't
can
feel
jump
so
up
good.
on deck? You can't even fly the ship?
I don't know. As she vomits.
You want to just try to...
Ember.
Yep.
I mean, she can try.
Ember.
She's not going to do a lot of good stuff, but she can try.
Nah, I'll get Ember. She can maintain.
Poor Ember is clocking
It's
some
it's
overtime
going to be
hours.
about the Ember's going to be about the same, except for she can't talk back.
She's very good at what she does, which is sitting in a chair as a
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Jellybean, sorry. We'll clean your puke later.
Oh,
I hope you feel better. But you got to sit in this chair. How much movement it's going to take me to get up top?
What's your move speed?
40.
I would say you could get to the end of the grappling hook, as you can see where the grappling hook is with your movement.
So right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you climb up, you see the grappling hook like stuck into the wood, the top of the ship. And there's,
always feel like
there's
these are
brains. Yeah. I'm working on some new images. Unless the ship breaks, of course.
Foreshadowing. Let's see. I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy trusty pistol, and I'm gonna I'm gonna shoot at this one by Louise.
Okay, shooting the brain. It's just a regular sized brain, maybe a little bit bigger. A 15 absolutely hits this brain as you shoot the brain, and the brain
Gets brained.
gets brained.
Oh wait, was there bless? What is that? Nope, that was Kensai shot. Take off 2.
Okay, we'll take off 2 as you deal 14 damage to this brain as it's got a brain bleed.
Ooh. Get hemorrhaged. I'm gonna do it again.
It's getting hemorrhaged. Yeah, do it again. A 22 absolutely hits it. As there's no armor on this brain. It's just got quick moving claws that takes 9 points of damage. As you it kind of gets knocked to the ground, but it kind of it rolls back over like a dog that's rolling over.
Okay.
You might even hear a bark in your head, just a woof.
Crazy. Well, that's all I can do.
All right.
That'll be it for me.
That will take us to the brains. So this guy It knows you don't think, Tobias. It knows your thing doesn't think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna lunge towards the real Tobias. This brain just kind of hops over towards you, Tobias, and I will need an intelligence saving throw.
Don't forget bless.
Don't forget bless. Hashtag blessed.
And that's my worst save, so what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and use my last luck point.
Lose a lucky, yeah, that's what they're for.
All
They're
right.
for doing good on saving throws.
Advantage, bless.
Or attacks, or anything, really.
Yeah. Here goes my intelligence. So it didn't add my bless.
Roll that d4.
Did not.
Not that I think it's really going to matter. 12.
It does matter. Because tell you what, that bless saved you. You should have 2 blesses on your...
Yeah, I checked them, but they didn't. I guess I clicked them after. Okay.
Which they made an update where you can make it cover both things. But, yeah, 12 does succeed. As you feel this weird sensation in your head, and it claws out towards you. Getting a 22 to hit.
That's going to be a hit.
As you take a whopping total of 9 points of slashing damage.
That's not that bad.
Louise, I would like the same thing, an intelligence save. As this thing rolls over, you hear a bark in your head. Yep.
I don't think I have bless.
No, you don't.
You do not,
Too
so
far
minus
away.
a 4.
9.
Louise, you take 11 points of psychic damage and are stunned. As this thing claws out at you. At advantage. Getting a 16 to hit you, Louise.
Yes.
As
15's the number to beat.
you will take 7 points of slashing damage as you are stunned. Which will unfortunately take us to Louise's turn. As Louise, you are stunned in this moment. You feel this barking. And in fact, you guys would hear Louise start barking. Like
Is that a new song?
like a penguin dog.
Intro to a new song, dude?
He's only saying stock phrases.
Which will take us, unfortunately, to Malcolm, as Louise, you are still stunned.
I am going to try to navigate my way down the rope towards the ship.
All right. Climbing and clambering. Give me a acrobatics check. I'm going to say at advantage because you've got extra limbs. not extra limbs, but you know, you're
I can have a climb speed.
I'm a monster.
you have a climb speed. So actually, you don't need. Yeah, you can give me an acrobatics check for funsies.
Okay.
How cool do you look while you climb?
I think it was a 16. You can
16,
move.
cool.
You can move your regular speed plus 10 while you're on the rope.
Let's see where that puts me. Am I able to navigate past Aethel successfully?
Yeah, you can climb over him. You got a climb speed. You're a climber.
Sweet, so 30 plus 10, so I'm able to get on the ship. Let's go.
You can stand on top of a ballista.
Yeah, if I can occupy that one. And I will fire off a couple Eldritch Blast at the brain closest to the Time Ghost.
Okay. Brain closest to the Time Ghost gets blasted. Give me those blasts.
There we go.
Nat 20 and a 25. I'm gonna say both of those probably hit.
I hope
Probably.
Probably.
so. One has to hit, and the other I'm
Sick
just like,
crits.
oh, if that doesn't hit, that's bad.
23 points of damage as you start blasting away a giant hole. You took out all of its cerebral cortex.
That's an important part.
Its medulla oblongata is gone.
I can't regulate its emotions anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Is
then I
that
still
both
got-
damages?
Nope, that's the first
That's
one.
the
Second.
first one. Second one for 13 points of damage. As you blast that brain into bits of gray matter go spilling all onto the deck.
And I might as well, unless, like what happened last time, these brains are going to suddenly turn friendly and be on our side. I will bonus action. Alright, actually, Hex is an action to cast it or bonus action?
Is a bonus action.
It is a bonus action. Okay, I knew it was a bonus action to move it. I will just cast Hex with bonus action on the other little guy.
Casting Hex on the other little guys. He's been hexed.
And that will be it for me.
Alright. That will take us to the top of the round. As this large Nautiloid gets ever closer. Its tendrils reaching out towards you. You can see it leering and squirming onto your vessel. Not quite within reach of being grappled by it yet.
Uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortably close. As top of the round, I do need everyone to give me an intelligence save.
I think I might be stunned
Okay.
again.
I can do that. One regular roll.
Didn't mean to roll that advantage.
You're good, you're
Doesn't matter.
good.
Hmm.
That's hilarious because we were just talking about this.
It's still my blesses checked. It didn't roll it, but I don't.
That's
think it
fair.
matters.
Sometimes it don't be that way. I'm having some issues with character sheet stuff too right now. Maybe they're finally doing
Yeah,
the update for the spell sheet.
Definitely looks like they've changed some stuff.
Then hopefully they change more. Malcolm, you are the only one that passed. So everyone else is under the effect of the slow for the turn. As your thoughts are slowed and muted down. Movement is halved. You can take an action or a bonus action, but you cannot take both. And there's a chance spells won't go off until next turn. But Tobias, you are up first, as everyone except for Malcolm is slowed.
My time ghost moves here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move after it. 15. And no bonus action attack, just regular attacks.
Okay. Pretty sure you can only make one attack too. I can't remember.
If you're affected by the slow spell, yes.
Yeah.
You can
Reduce
make
your
a
speed
slow
by
attack.
10 feet if it is... Oh, yeah. I was looking at the slow property like an idiot. So your speed is halved. You take -2 to your AC and dexterity saving throws. You can't take reactions. And you can either take a bonus action or action, not both. If you take the attack action, you only get one attack.
Okay, so here goes the one attack.
30's probably still good though.
30 is very good.
Yeah, you just gotta make it a good one. 30's pretty good.
As it will take 6 points of damage as this thing is still barely up.
That'll be it for my turn.
It's squirming around. It will take us to Aethel, who is kind of tied up, and you made it to where you can get yourself free with a saving throw.
Spend my action to get out of it.
All right, will be a strength or a dexterity save.
Dex,
I'm gonna say the DC's 10 because you rolled it because you made it good. You did a good rope.
I'll roll a 7. That's not 10.
A 7 is not 10. As you try to bulge your way free of it, and you're so good at tying knots that you tie the knot tighter. Have to roll this guy.
I'm coming, buddy. Give me a moment. That's my turn.
All right, that will take us to Oblate.
I am also slowed, so I will just take my action to stand here and shoot the brain.
Okay, got a gun in hand. Yeah, you just whip out the pistol. It's already whipped out.
Whip it out.
Excuse him.
You do hit it.
Ciao.
It kerchows into the brain as right before it was able to eat Louise's brain, it splatters all over the deck. Anything else for Oblate? I guess that's it, because you can move if you want. You can move half.
It's still like 25 feet for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Still got 20. Yeah, half speed, so he's got 20 feet. If you want to move anywhere.
He only moves 40? He doesn't move 50 yet? What does the monk class become?
He didn't take the speedster feat.
I mean, I wouldn't do that either.
You're muted also, I think, Josh.
Oh,
Maybe not.
sorry.
I don't know.
I just want to move. I
That's
probably
fair.
did mute myself. I moved to the other side.
You moved to the other side. That will actually effectively take us to the Nautiloid's turn. As 3 ballistas are shot towards the ship. I'm going to say everyone on the ship. Give me a dex save with advantage. So Aethel not included. As ballista bolts are flailing onto the ship. No, it's still -2 because you're slowed, yeah.
So take 2 off of that, 25.
As Malcolm,
He adapted this time, though.
you are struck by a ballista bolt.
It's gonna hurt.
That's not ideal.
It's not ideal. You take 21 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, it's not great. Hadozi resilience.
Okay.
For sure.
And I need a constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on Hex.
Constitution saving throw.
As Hex is still maintained.
And I get what, 1d6 and proficiency?
Yes.
Something like that.
Let's see. Oh,
You
shit.
get 4 away from that, so you still
away from that.
take 17 points of damage.
Not 21, though.
It's not blackjack. They would still
And
have
our,
to.
on a
They
bright
still
note,
have
it
to
hit
stay,
you. It hit you, it's not hitting our ship.
That's true. Your ship does take 14 points of piercing damage, which I don't think that's above
We
its
appreciate
threshold.
your sacrifice.
Yeah, the sacrifices I make for you all.
Let me
It's
tell
not
you.
like Malcolm jumped in front of the ball. He's like,
he's
no.
Good
saving-
job, Mr. President.
He was saving the ballista.
Yep.
It's the only one we have that's functional.
Yep. It's also all kind of tangled up in the rope too.
Yes, damage threshold is 15.
So it doesn't actually take damage. It just kind of glancing blows off of the hull of the ship is the only one that would have hurt it. Malcolm took like a champ.
That's a hell of a silver lining.
It is.
If that makes you feel better, you should feel that. You should think that.
It makes me feel better emotionally, but there's still a ballista bolt in me.
I still got hit with a ballista, so you know.
Yeah.
The Magdalena does take 28 points of bludgeoning damage as tentacles do grapple onto it and start pulling it closer to the maul. Which will take us to Louise. You are slowed, but you are no longer stunned.
I have 15 feet of movement. Can I make it to the ballista there?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, ish. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. As Tomas has been loading it.
Okay.
He spent
I'll
2
use-
actions loading.
Can I use my action to aim it and fire?
Absolutely. Let me double check, see what the ballista requires. 3 actions. 1 action to load, 1 action to aim. So he has aimed it at the vessel, so you just need to fire it.
Okay. I'll fire.
And you should see it under the Magdalena. You should have a ballista attack on the right side of it.
You do be having that. Speaking of the Magdalena, the 28 it took, was that after threshold?
It was at, yeah. So if it beats the threshold, it takes all of it. Right?
What
I don't know.
What topic is it under?
It's in the player characters thing.
Yeah.
When you open it up. It should be
Say
like
the
our characters
cupcake.
and then the cupcake / the Magdalena.
That's right, the
Oh, got
cupcake.
it right here.
Forgot it was called the cupcake. Once upon a time.
Yeah, but then we give it a go.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
As
Oh,
it
wow.
grazes past, we'll say a tentacle just kind of slaps away the ballista bolt.
Eat ballista.
That's
That is your action, unfortunately. As you are slowed down. That'll take us to Malcolm, as Malcolm is not slowed down in this moment.
Oh,
You haven't spun around because you were standing on
Yeah,
the ballista.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing else. I don't think firing any Eldritch Blast at the ship is really going to do anything. So I guess I can burn an action to reload the ballista.
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Let's give that a shot.
You reload the ballista. And no real roll necessary. Yeah, you get a ballista bolt next there and plant it right on.
Do I need to move for you, Aethel? No, you should be able to get on the ship.
Provided he gets
I
out.
can also
Yeah,
like,
provided
climb further.
he unties himself.
That'll happen
Okay.
eventually.
That'll
Math
be
is technically
for
in my
me.
favor.
Alright. And top of the round, the vessel does move closer, creeping onto your ship. As you would see people start sliding down off of these tentacles. Several Githyanki, Githzerai, a human woman, and even a tiefling.
Okay, so the human and the tiefling are part of the Federation, so we're not supposed to kill them.
They don't have any brains left. This is
They're done.
Odross. He doesn't like intelligent people around him.
At which point they
Yeah,
all
but when
need to
we
roll
banished him, some of them just bounced because they were just mind controlled. They're
initiative.
like, we're leaving now.
What I should have done was just roll these guys initiative previously.
Yeah,
Hindsight, right?
Whatever.
Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, hindsight. Not just a steak sauce.
As, yeah, one of these gets Zerai. Dead look in their face. Does some
Yeah,
kung
those
fu
guys
stuff.
probably don't have brains. They probably don't have brains anymore. But
And leaps onto the deck of the ship. With such grace. They do strike out at Time Ghost.
Okay.
Getting a 16 to hit Time Ghost.
Time misses Time Ghost.
Getting a 6 to hit Time Ghost.
That's a miss.
As it tries to attack, but does not succeed. As the human woman, we're just going to call her Betty. She pulls out a pistol and is going to shoot at Oblate. Twice, because you got a pistol. She got a pistol. Getting a 22 and a 21 to hit.
That hit.
As the first one will do 10 points of damage. Second one will do 12 points of piercing damage.
Thank God for those 10 hit points.
Which will... And I'd say at this point, no one is slowed anymore at the top of the round. Which will take us to Tobias.
This person's on a tentacle.
Yeah, they're all kind of slip-sliding on the tentacles.
tentacles basically grab the ship and they're now like basically
Yeah,
down.
pulling it into
Okay.
the maul.
So I'm going to rush forward as I pull up my short sword to engage that one. And yeah, do my
Okay.
thing. Short sword first.
A 20 will absolutely hit this. This gets Zerai. Or no, this is get Yankee. Sorry.
Yeah. And again, short sword, sorry, with advantage at 29.
Because you have vixed it. 29 will also hit.
Offhand attack with the Magentan Sunsaw.
Okay. 28 absolutely hits.
And did I not roll my Sunsaw? Here's a d6.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's some weird character shenanigans going on right now.
It
Character
does
sheet
look like they
stuff.
changed the sheet, so I'm not surprised. I'm not everything this.
For 10.
So it will take 10 as you are whirling into them.
Yeah.
They're
then-
not having a good time.
Bonus action, offhand attack with the Magentan Sunsaw again.
Okay.
Yeah.
As it whirs to life again as it slashes into him.
All right,
For
for
12.
12 points of damage as they're looking fucked up. Just looking at you with a dead stare in your eyes. The light kind of glowing from them.
That's it for me.
That will take us to Aethel, who's all tied up.
Yeah, I'm a little busy at the moment. I'll try and escape again. Because I
Try.
can't do much from here.
Try to escape again. Give me a strength or a dexterity save.
One strength save.
With an 18, you yank those knots from around your waist down as they kind of slip into a tighter knot, keeping the Kurganfly still attached.
And then I will move. I'm moving at half speed, basically. Is that right?
Give me an acrobatics check to check out your speed.
Yeah, I'll definitely not do bad on that.
Yeah, you are at half speed.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It could have been worse.
3. Is the ship under me? Where there?
Yeah, the ship's under you. Because the grappling hook went all the way back to the...
Yeah, it's all the way back here.
Yeah.
I'll let go
Okay.
Land wherever it lands.
Yeah, you land right. Yeah.
Ow.
Pressed into the ballista.
Is everybody
Breaking the
okay?
ballista.
I don't think I'm that heavy.
Nah.
But it is a delicate instrument, so like I could break part of it pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then that's my, well, I guess bonus section. You got hurt. Who all got hurt?
You asked if everyone was okay, and you just turn and look at me beside you. The bolt sticking out.
Yeah, yeah. Ballista bolt just kind of sticking into his side.
Let's fix that. And I'm just gonna cast Healing Word on him right now.
All right. A little word
Not
of
a great
healing.
roll,
But it's
I'll
healing.
get you 7 back.
I'll take it.
That's not supposed to be there. So let's start pulling it out and healing.
Yeah,
I saved the ship.
you did.
I'm not sure if it needed saving.
We'll never know.
We won't. That's my turn. I've used all my actions.
That will take us to this tiefling over here. Warhammer in hand charges towards Tobias. Taking a swing out, getting a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Dealing... They got a 17 on their second attack.
That is also a hit.
As their first attack does 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Second attack does 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As it
Nice.
pushes
Ow.
you 10 feet back.
Ow.
And leaps up over the deck. Like, kind of hand on the railing, looking over at you. Which
Ow.
will take us to this Get the Yankee Warrior. With... She's just going to teleport up there. Right behind, Misty stepping up. Teleports behind Tobias, and this nasty, gnarly looking, purplish green hued Psy blade from their arm, and will lash out at both Tobiases, one at the ghost and one at the real one. The ghost hits a 21 to hit,
That will hit. Goodbye, ghost.
as the real one gets a 10 to hit the real Tobias.
That misses.
Time ghost goes away. Meanwhile, another Get Yankee comes to, pulls out this gleaming silvery sword. They're also going to Misty Step over here. And as they Misty Step, this puff of white smoke fills the air next to Oblate. As Oblate, I will need you to give me a strength saving throw.
$15.
Just double check and make sure I'm doing this right. As you make your save, you feel yourself being pushed and pulled and grappled by nothing. That will end their turn. Nope, they're going to lash out at Oblate as well. Because they can do that, because they're cool. Getting a 23 to hit you, Oblate.
Yeah, that hit. I will use my reaction to deflect the attack.
That's a good idea. Because they did 10 and 22. 10 points of slashing damage and 22 points of psychic damage. As their sword gleams with such light.
It's made of psychic mind.
Well, all of the slashing is gone.
All the slashing is gone. You still take 22 points of psychic damage, though.
That's a whole bunch of hurt. Brain hurty.
Actually, you would reduce the psychic damage by 3, too.
It comes from a physical weapon.
Because it comes from a physical weapon, so
Gotcha.
you can kind of slow the blade down.
Okay.
The slow knife cuts the deepest. Which will take us to your turn, Oblate. It's not true, but, you know.
But Dune thinks it is.
But Dune thinks it is. Yeah, that's how you bypass shields is. You cut slowly. Oblate, you are up.
Well, I wanted to shoot Betty, but that's not gonna happen now. Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna. Stun and strike with my bow on this guy in front of me that just decimated me.
All right.
You took 1/10 of your health.
Yeah, he did a bunch. I not appreciate that. Whoops, wrong button.
$11's gonna be a miss, unfortunately.
Do you have to
Let's just
declare-
one a hit.
Oh, stunning strike does that have to be declared before? Or after?
No, after you hit, so you don't waste the thing. But you get 2 attacks with your Kanabo.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do it again.
Do it again. Throwing this big blade around. He's got a big sword as he just kind of pushes your Kanabo to the side. A 17 just hits him.
Good no.
He got a 17 on his saving throw.
Well, he passed it.
But the next attack against them will still be at advantage. Put a little lightning bolt on them to help remember. And you still got bonus action. And damage. Take 13 points of bludgeoning.
And I'm going to bonus action flurry of blows on him.
Okay. Give me 2 unarmed strikes. One of them will be at advantage.
Number 1 at advantage.
24 will absolutely hit. 17 just hits. For 8 and
Wham.
5, which you can reroll because of Tavern Brawler.
Oh, you're right.
Of course I am. This time. Turn that minimum into a maximum as they take 20 points of damage. Yeah. Complete opposite. As they may deflect your first Kanabo attack where you kind of bash them in the face with another and then just give them a 1-2 with your fist or your elbows or your feet.
Tickle him with my toes, and that will be the end of my turn.
They call him the toe tickler.
But not for the reason you would think.
Not for the reason you would think, as the ship is munched on a little bit more and pulled into the grappling tentacles.
Stop eating holes in our ship.
It misses,
What a nerd. Never mind.
which will take us to Louise.
All right. We'll see if charm works against these guys. I'll do hypnotic pattern. I think I'm gonna get Tobias out of this though.
I forgot to do the old man. He's old, so he's slow. He'll go
Yeah.
next time.
But you get all of them, so it's worth it.
Yeah, I can get everybody, but Tobias gets it too.
But
Yeah.
Tobias, does he get the old guy too?
Yep, it's a 30-foot
Barely.
cube. It goes
So 30 feet would be half that.
half that.
So it would be 15 feet.
Oh,
You can still get basically everybody. Because you move it over and you get all these guys.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
but
I can
you.
get everybody,
everybody
but
but
the old
this guy.
man.
Which is probably still fine.
Wisdom 16.
Okay.
I passed.
Hey. Are pretty good.
Even better.
As they are doing poorly at the moment. As they are doing horribly. As a bunch of them are stunned. As they all glance around at the colors. all except for Betty.
Damn Betty.
Oh, Betty. Bonus action, I'll use Mantle of Inspiration for everybody.
Yay!
I like that.
Fair enough.
For 14 temp hit points.
Nice,
That's pretty
nice.
and free movement.
And Tomas gets that as well.
So you have 6.
Tomas goes back behind the ballista. I don't want to get murdered here.
10, 15.
He's kind of a coward.
Could probably try to use the ballista to murder people, but
I've been loading it.
I loaded
Doing
it
great,
last time,
buddy.
Tomas.
I did the first time.
Doing
Just
great,
murder
buddy.
someone.
And I think I'll just
I'll
move
get
back
there.
a little bit, and that'll... Okay. I'll just start
I'll move to there.
going towards the
actually.
ballista.
Okay. Which one will take us to Malcolm?
Just because I don't want to screw this up. If I damage any of them that are charmed, do they lose the charm condition?
Yes.
Or okay, so I don't want to shoot any of them. And Betty was the only one that made it,
It looks like it.
Betty-
And then the old guy never got targeted. But yeah.
and they
And the old guy. Old man of the space.
Old man of the astral city.
We're gonna work something better.
Yeah.
That's better.
And Betty is the tiefling, purple tiefling.
No, Betty's the human woman.
Oh, Betty. Okay,
The person that does not have a lightning bolt.
gotcha. Oh yeah. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. I don't know why I was so zoomed out.
Originally, I was zoomed out to see the cephalopod ship.
Yeah,
Now
I
I'm
was
here,
too.
so-
And it's like on top of us, so it's kind
As
of
long as
pointless.
that's here, I don't really need to
Yeah.
be so far away.
Let's. Do I want to shoot ballista? Do I want to fire off at them?
It needs to be aimed still, right? It's only been loaded.
It's been loaded, it
Well,
has not been aimed.
Does it still need to be aimed,
Yeah, it has to
even
be
though
aimed
it's-
then fired.
Yep.
It's 3 actions.
even though it hasn't?
Yep.
I mean, it's just gotten closer and it's still in the same area.
Yep.
Okay.
B rules.
Yeah. Let's. Tomas was so proud of his work. I'll let him aim it. Let's
Okay.
fire off a couple Eldritch Blast at. We'll fire them off at Betty.
Okay.
Betty.
Make sure. And I'll go ahead and bonus action Hex before I do and just change it to her.
Okay. So she has been hexed.
I have that turned on, so let's go ahead and find the attack on my sheet that I use most often. There it is.
The Eldritch Blast. A 22 and a 28 both hit.
Fantastico.
You pushing her?
Damn.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well. She takes 11 and
And
15 for 26 points of damage. She is blasted back. Hole in her shoulder the size of a baseball.
That's
I
what the
will-
ballista felt like.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now you know how it feels. And I'll stick here just in case I need to manipulate the ballista. So
All right, which will take us to a stunned guy, and then Betty getting blasted by the Hidozi at the back will take a shot at him in response with her pistol. It'll be at disadvantage actually. Getting a nat 1 because I think you are further away. As I measure a giant thing that good nobody saw. Misses, it hits the railing of the Magdalena, and then she's gonna shoot out at Tobias because you were up next to her.
Mhm.
Getting a 16 to hit,
That'll be a miss.
which will take us to your turn, Tobias.
I'm gonna finish off Betty, or attempt to. Stab my short sword into her.
Okay.
Possibly phrasing. Haven't decided yet. You've been warned. That's basically we're just gonna leave it there.
Oh wait, take the 6 off. It's only 10.
Oh yeah, it definitely doesn't have that.
Yeah. First attack. She's
Nope.
still up.
10's pretty good.
She is still up.
Yep. Again.
Again.
With advantage this time for real though.
All right, rolling initiative for some other people. Yes, a 29 will hit her.
No more people.
Yeah, more people. She
And
takes 10 more points of damage. Rolling
And
around.
Bring my sunsaw down against her legs with advantage. 28.
28 absolutely hits her.
And this one will add the d6. Sorry.
6 plus 4 for 10 points of damage as your Magentan Sunsaw whirs, kind of cuts her hand off as she looks and kind of grasps at her, like, her stub, her nub, and a tentacle rampantly, just kind of randomly taps her as her body disappears and is grayish black smoke as she is no more.
She got tagged out.
She got tagged out.
Or disintegrated.
Or disintegrated.
Yeah,
No,
not really
unsure.
which. I'm going to use second wind. As soon as it rolls it,
Okay.
eventually.
There goes.
14.
Oh, good
And
roll.
you get free movement too if you'd like.
Yes, I would.
Damn, that's a nice second wind.
And I'm going after the old guy.
After the old man.
Yep.
Oh no.
Future is now.
He's never done anything.
He's never done
Right.
anything.
Yet.
That's what makes him the most dangerous.
Yeah.
That will end my turn right there.
As he gazes upon you, that'll take us to Aethel.
Let's. I'm gonna mass heal inward, getting all my friends that are up here. I think pretty much everybody's hurt except for me.
Yeah.
So we'll pop one of those. Mass healing word.
Always a fan favorite.
Use the spell slot, please. Didn't add my mod, but.
And it also only rolled
6.
1.
Oh well, that might be just because I clicked the wrong one then.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Because there's another one on there that says 1d4 still. But not a big deal because it's easy to just do this.
It is.
Say,
So
hey,
for
actually,
5 plus
not-
4,
9 in total,
everyone gets 9 points of healing.
Oh
and then
Thank you.
Tobias, would you like to make a weapon attack using your reaction?
You know what? I sure would.
Go ahead and
Absolutely.
do that then.
Whirling out with a weapon in response to feeling good. A 19 looks like it would hit, but he kind of just whirls around and just pushes you away as if you don't even touch him. Just the energy around pushes you away as it misses.
That was
Unworldly
weird,
dervish.
dude. That's it.
All right, that will take us
Well,
to...
that's his thing. Technically, that's still my turn. That
It
was
is
his
still...
turn.
Yeah, you still have an action.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Dang.
do. My action is just gonna be Toll the Dead on this guy.
Okay. Pulling his
Where
death.
is Toll?
The
He's full
old
health,
man?
right?
Not the old man. He rolled horribly. He got an 8.
Well, that's less than 15, so he'll take
Ding dong.
that.
He'll take 17 points
Jesus.
of necrotic damage. As his ears bleed and he kind of winces a little bit.
And oh, right.
It's
Here,
elder
I'm gonna
abuse.
give a little space to the tentacles, just in case.
Okay. Giving
Because
some...
in case they're disintegrating people and
In
not
case they're
teleporting
disintegrating
back onto
people.
you know, just in case. You never know.
That will
But yeah. Good
take
turn.
us
Go team.
to A familiar face with rebate.
Hey, that guy.
How can I
What's that
help?
blood on
What is
his
going on
arms?
up here?
The ballista, man. Load the ballista and shoot it at the ship.
Okay. He starts floating over
The enemy ship.
as he aims it.
At the deck.
I don't know those people. Which will take us to Oblate. Because they're all stunned. Well, incapacitated.
Yeah, they're incapped for so
Let's
long.
see. Is that close enough? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Run a little bit farther. I don't think that was the right direction. Okay, it was. Alright, run a little bit closer to the old man.
As you're running
And-
along these nautiloid tentacles.
I thought, so they're not,
They're there.
are all these tentacles on the wing
Yeah,
of the
like
ship?
they're just kind of randomly flipping about, slithering, trying to pull the ship closer and crushing it. So they're occasionally, whipping around with lightly destructive force. Give me an acrobatic. Give me a dexterity save.
Don't get touched by them. They might disintegrate people.
22, yeah. You dodge and roll over and under and just kind of tumble through them however you'd like.
Okay. Tumbled into a roll.
Into an
And as I get done
ST4.
with the roll, pistol, old man,
Yeah.
to the dome.
Gonna pistol
Not
whip
the
him with a
old
bullet.
man.
Do you know this old man? Is that what's going on there? Like,
A 16 will miss as he's just dodging like nobody's business. He
Oh,
is
this one
bleeding
will
from his
not
ears, though.
miss. I'm going to bonus action, Kensai shot, one
Okay.
more time, pistol. Let's do it.
Bristol.
Let's get a 20.
20 total.
20 total.
20.
That's all
Does
I want.
still miss as he dodges it and just
Oh,
kind of
God.
pushes himself
No,
to the
no.
side.
This old man sucks.
He's just.
You know what they say? About an old man in a young man's game.
Anything else for Oblate?
They should have retired?
I will stand there in disbelief.
All right.
Magic.
Insight
man.
check.
What are you gonna do?
He is one with the Force, essentially. He's
Obi-Wan?
cast shield, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it, ish.
Closer to a Yoda, if we're
Yoda
being
one?
honest.
Yeah,
Yoda one.
Yoda one, kind of a little bit of Kiadimundi in there.
Yeah, I see the.
As that takes it to his turn.
Oh, cool.
I feel like
As
this is gonna hurt.
he is going to look at Tobias.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Okay.
Tobias, I need
Disappointing.
a wisdom save.
From the crushing guilt of disappointing this old man.
With a 14 is a success.
Nice.
No way.
Hashtag blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. As you take... Oh, wrong. I rolled the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You
I
take
like the first one more.
12 points of psychic damage. As he also starts wailing into you with psychic strikes.
Mhm.
Getting an 18 to hit with his first attack.
That hits.
You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Horrible on that psychic damage. 11 points of psychic damage.
I mean, that's still a lot of damage.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
As he's also going to jump away from you. You can make an attack of opportunity if you'd like to try.
Yeah.
I would.
He's already used it.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh,
when I
you
used
did.
it.
I had him use it
Or
earlier.
that.
He leaps over with such majestic grace, with a little running start across the wing of the ship, towards Louise.
Holy shit!
Towards Louise, you say?
Uh-huh.
Calls coming from inside the house.
And strikes out at Louise.
Did he run past me?
He leapt in the air. He had to make a running start. He probably got to like 5 feet away from you and then leapt over you. and leapt right there.
A good jump. Good distance.
As he casts jump as a bonus action. And strikes
cheater.
onto Louise, getting a 22 to hit.
Yep. Yep, that hits.
As a sovereign citizen, he's not allowed to hit you if you don't allow him to. So
Louise, you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 18 points of psychic damage as he just kind of strikes onto you. Kind of trying to hit like your neck, so you'll lose concentration, hopefully. 30 points of damage, and I need a Constitution save, DC 15.
Okay.
You can do it.
I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
As all you lose concentration on the pattern of hypnosis you had on the enemies. As they all stir awake.
That's not great.
Oh, crud.
That will end his turn. None of these guys are talking either, so it's just this weird, unsaid, quiet shambling about the ship, which will take us to Tomas's turn. Tomas will
Fire, because it's been.
He's gonna fire, but he's gonna fire at the Gith Yankee who's right there.
Can he?
Okay, well, I guess it's been aimed.
Yeah, I'm like.
He's going to push the Gith Yankee
That makes sense.
away. Look out! You're gonna get murdered.
Not necessarily wrong this time.
Yeah, as he pushes the Gith Yankee away. And he'll step up in front of Louise, because he's not as badly hurt as Louise is. In fact, he's not hurt at all.
What a bro.
Must be nice.
As he's kind of like, he's got another ballista bolt that he's just kind of pushing him away with, like a staff. Which will take us to the Nautiloid. At this point, rain of ballista bolts shoot towards the ship. I need everyone to give me a dexterity save at advantage.
One advantage.
What is the ship's AC?
15, I think? Let me pull it up.
It checks out.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, 15 wood.
As Aethel, you get struck by a ballista bolt.
Damn.
You take 26 points of piercing damage.
That's a lot.
Constitution save DC 13. To maintain bless.
You said 26?
Mm-hmm. That's 26 not going towards the ship. The ship does get hit with 2 others, though.
That's fine, I guess.
As the ship will take 19 points of piercing damage. The other one does not penetrate its armored hull. Did 13.
I failed. We're no longer #blessed.
As no one
No.
Bless is gone.
stressed.
As your concentrations are being lost. That will also try to bite down onto the ship.
It's one of those guys.
Somehow not crushing the ship, though. I hope someone's keeping track of the ship's hit points.
You said it didn't get hit last time that it tried something, correct?
Right, yeah, last time it tried to crush onto it, it did not take damage from that.
And then how much did it just take?
19.
19?
A little low bite.
Yeah. It's
Then
having a
health is
hard
still-
time with its claws.
Health is currently accurate for...
Which will take us to Louise.
That's you.
As you just got, like, pummeled the shit out of. Actually, make sure I'm not forgetting something. I'm not. Great.
I mean, I'm reeling in pain, but that cluster's still grouped up there. I'm gonna try and do the same. I'll try and do
Against
another
those 4?
hypnotic pattern. Those 4.
Okay. They all make wisdom saving throws again. Got a 10, a 21, a 14, and a 15. So 3 of them are still back to being, as they start looking around, unsure of what they are seeing.
Back at the hypnotic pattern.
Yeah.
And I'll try and back up behind Tomas.
Okay. Yes.
I'll give Bardic to Malcolm.
Malcolm. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do to give him bardic inspiration?
I'm just backing up, really in pain, and I'm just gonna get on the ballista with him. You better not miss the shot.
Okay. Will take us to Malcolm, who is bardically inspired. You have a D8 added to any D20 roll
That you want to do?
Yeah.
Roger that. I'm gonna take the shot. I'm gonna take the shot
with the ballista. Yeah, give me the ballista shot.
I'd have just ignored him and shot the old man.
Let's take a shot.
I won't. Wow.
A 17 does hit.
Fantastic.
That's good.
As you blast the hull of the ship. Roll me some ballista damage. Click on where it says bolt in the chat window.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, it does not penetrate.
Just impacted on the
it
surface.
impacted on the surface.
Okay. Should I use the bardic to? Can I add that to the damage?
You cannot add it to the damage unless
Okay, so
unless he was a glory or
Valor.
sword. Valor, yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Oh, he said he was. He whispered it to me before he gave it to me. He said that.
he
I
said-
just
he-
changed classes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just now.
That's the actual bard subclass he is.
Yeah.
He's the one that can change subclasses.
Right.
Well.
He
Yep.
took a shit ton of damage and then whispered in my ear and said I could do that.
Kill them.
Okay. Well, at least it didn't
Do
miss.
it.
You still got your bonus action.
Can I? Because I don't know what happened to Betty. Can I change Hex?
Yeah, she dead.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Just assume she did.
Mm-hmm.
I will move Hex to. So the Tiefling was unaffected by the hypnotic pattern, and the old man.
Yep.
I'll move it to the old man.
Okay. Move up to the step up to the old man of the astral sea.
I'm not stepping anywhere. Just.
Fair enough.
Just give it a stink eye.
Yeah.
As you give him the stink eye, that will take us to the top of the round as the large Nautiloid creeps a little further and wrapping your vessel further into its... It is fully on top as these tentacles are writhing around the deck. Everything will be difficult terrain. And you want to avoid the tentacles. There will be checks involved for movement. But at the top of the round here, we're going to take a little 5-10 minute break, folks, as their vessel is getting engulfed by a giant Nautiloid. And still being tugged on by the large Kurganfly, although not nearly as large as the rest of everything else that's going on. But we're going to take a little 5-10 minute break there, folks, so stick around. We'll be back in a few.
See you shortly,
We'll be
Twitch.
back.
All right, folks, we are back in it, and last we left off, our crew is in the grasp of a Nautiloid, and they are fighting a battle aboard the Magdalena as ballista bolts being pelted onto the ship, and the Magdalena itself being slowly consumed. Not taking much damage, but it is still being overtaken by this much larger vessel, as your ship is also running rampant with people. Many of them are incapacitated at the moment as well, but that is where we're going to pick up as the ship has grown closer. That will take us to Tobias. Tobias, what are you doing?
Pretty hurt. I'm going to second wind as my bonus action.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Some
okay,
might
yeah.
say the best.
The best possible option.
I'll take my free 15 feet of movement.
Yes. Give me an acrobatics check. It is difficult terrain, so it's not.
Yep.
That's not 15 then?
It's not 15 then.
The...
Give me an acrobatic, or give me a dexterity save. Sorry.
You got it. Without
Because the tentacles are all over the ship.
Yeah, trying to dodge those things to get over there. Dexterity save.
25. Nat 20. Yeah, I'll say you get 5 extra feet of movement if you want it.
So
Still difficult terrain, but yeah, so 10.
We're going to 20, so 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, move to there. I'm gonna take out this tiefling.
Okay.
First
Got a
attack.
big old warhammer in hand.
You hit me. 18.
18 does hit him.
Okay. This next one is with advantage.
9 points of damage with the finesse short sword. 23 absolutely hits him. Take 11 more.
And then offhand attack with the Sunsaw.
Sunsaw whirls around, buzzing. 18 hits. It buzzes for 12 more points of damage.
And that's movement, action, bonus action. That's it for me.
Alright, that will take us to Aethel.
That's me. Where would I have done that?
Tentacles creeping onto the vessel.
Attempt to move. Actually, I guess I'm gonna toll the dead this guy.
Okay. Now, I would say with your keen perception, Aethel, notice a little sparkle of yellowish golden light off to the side of this vortex that you guys are in. Reminds you of Tarsal. Like somewhere,
Off
like
to the
way off to the side, like it's impossibly far away. Like over
It's not
here.
like where the direction we're headed, though.
No. It is not. But what are you doing?
Well, I'm tolling it that old man.
Old man, he gets told. Old man got a 24 on his wisdom save.
He'll save then. That's fine. And then I'm going to... I'm going to do that. I'm going to activate my wings, my heavenly wings.
Heavenly wings.
And then I'm going to try and go up and see if I stay under... if the ship stays under me, or if this starts bringing me way over to these guys.
I will... You can move as you want, but I will still need a dexterity save to avoid the tentacles.
Yeah, that's fine.
No more... I would say your movement isn't as deterred, but trying to
Dangerous.
avoid these tentacles slapping around.
Next roll. I'll take a 1 cat.
With a nat 1. As you're flying up, you don't feel yourself moving, but you feel a slap on your back as your entire being just vanishes for a moment in a puff of black smoke. As you are teleported right next to Ballista with these guys.
Oh, well. Cool.
No.
That's basically where I wanted to be eventually. Just not necessarily when I wanted to be there.
Right.
It's okay. I've got a solution. It's not a good solution, but I have a solution.
Spirit.
Do I still have any
Fly
move
back.
action left?
Yeah, you still have your action. It's,
so I
it's
still have
bonus action to use the wing thing.
Yeah, then I was gonna start moving up.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, you still have your movement. You still have all those things. You just we'll say you moved 5 feet. You got 25 more feet.
That's a fair assessment.
But you are teleported to the ground with them.
Yeah. I'll go. I've got to make a decision.
Because they're like 40 feet up. There is a mangonel which is not being manned at the moment. And so that area is 20 feet up, and then this area is 40 feet up, 20 more feet up from that.
What if these people are gonna try and attack me? Maybe. We'll find out. I'm gonna move to here. Yeah.
Absolutely, they will try. Getting a 17 and a 15 to hit.
15 misses, 17 hits.
Alright, as you take a whopping total of 4 points of piercing damage as a short sword kind of stabs into your ankle as you fly up.
And then I'm gonna go up a little bit. I'm gonna be kind of like...
Yeah, well that's 20
Basically
feet up
flying.
already.
Yeah, I'm basically flying up at an angle, like I was going up towards them.
Gotcha.
I kind of want to be in the middle of them at the moment.
Yeah, so this where the mangonel is in the middle.
It's its own.
Yeah, it's
floor.
its own floor. So it's with Ballista, mangonel up there, and then way above that is the 3 ballistas.
That's great.
So you are on the mangonel level. And you still have your action?
No, I cast Toll the Dead Knife.
That's right, that's right. That will take us to Rebate. Who's going to... He'll step up to the Githzera. He doesn't care. Like, get away from Tomas. And he's just going to lash out as much as he can.
Get away from my subject.
Looks like he would hit him, but the Gith just kind of dodges fluidly as the Modron is making these very calculated strikes with his fists, ending his turn. Yeah, very much so.
That's the calculation.
As the Tiefling will lash out at Tobias with his Warhammer.
Makes sense.
Getting a 21 and an 8 to hit.
21 hit.
He's just whirling around, big, tough Warhammer. Deals minimum damage, 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's basic. Nothing.
Rolled ones, which will end
Mostly dodged it.
Mostly dodge it as it kind of, I don't know, slams into one of the tentacles and his Warhammer. Nah, he doesn't slam it down. He almost does.
Right.
That guy's zapped. That guy's zapped. That'll take us to Oblate. Oblate, what are you up to?
Oh, well, I don't want to traverse the tentacles, so I'm
It's
going
not
to
that
just...
bad, actually. But I haven't really said that it isn't that bad yet. You might.
Yeah, we just saw you
dead.
disappear.
You just saw him
disappeared.
disappear. You don't
Jump
know.
off
You don't
smoke.
know where he went.
That guy's dead.
It looks terrible.
Didn't look like it felt too great. I want to keep my physical form, so I'm just gonna shoot this tiefling.
Absolutely.
I will go ahead and bonus action Kensai shot. Fumble.
It's going to be a miss as you shoot at the tiefling, trying not to move as these tentacles are slamming all around you.
I'll load up and do it again.
Quickly cock it and pop it. 17 does hit him.
Bop it.
Did you bop
Twist
it? We're going to twist it now for 9 points of damage. Anything else for Oblati?
Gonna stand my ground. That'll be it.
It's a stand your ground state. That will take us to the monk. The Getzerai. He is going to once again. He doesn't have those things. He's going to just he's gonna pop out at Tomas and Rebate. Actually, missing Rebate, but hits Tomas. As Tomas takes 18 points of damage. Not very much.
Not very much.
Which will
damage. That's not that bad.
end the Githzerai's turn, as Tomas will lash out with a dagger he's got in hand.
Practice is stabbing.
And actually hits.
Woo!
For maximum damage. Scratches him for 5 points of damage.
Heck yeah.
That's like
Ends
5 damage.
Tomas's turn. He's like, I think we're all going to get murdered here. I don't like this. Take us to Nautiloid. Yeah. They're going to... One of the ballista bolts will definitely fire on the ship. Everyone give me dexterity saves at advantage.
I refuse.
Except for Aethel. Yeah, you avoid this for sure.
Unless they shoot at me on this ship.
Nah, they don't care about that.
Interesting.
No, not Louise.
Louise, you do get hit by one.
No!
As you take 19 points of piercing damage.
We're doomed.
As Louise falls unconscious. And
No.
all of these guys
Wake up.
wake up.
Well, shit.
Yes.
We can't hear Louise.
The ship takes 15 points of piercing damage. One of them does hit, but doesn't do enough damage. The other one does 15. And it will grapple on... almost a nat 20. Still does 24 points of bludgeoning damage to the ship as it starts to crush.
24.
24. Which will take us to Louise. Louise, if you will roll me a death save. Por favor. Maybe in a whispered form. Alright. That will take us to Malcolm. Malcolm.
Also, por favor.
Not so calm. Okay, so I've got an interesting idea,
Alright, I'm listening.
and then I've got a run-of-the-mill idea.
We'll combine them, make an interesting run-of-the-mill idea.
Okay.
Make a run of the interesting idea.
Yes,
When we
run with the interesting
manipulated-
idea.
Okay. I like that. When we manipulated the levers that controlled the wings
Yeah,
up here,
yeah.
we were able to rotate the direction of the ship, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if there's a way that I could manipulate the levers and spin the other vessel into the wall of this astral tunnel that we're traveling, because a lot of weird shit happened when that happened before.
Sure.
That's interesting idea number one.
Okay.
So we're trying to do like a reverse pit maneuver.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Run-of-the-mill idea is I'm just going to cast Summon Fae, so...
Run of the mill idea. I cast Eldritch Blast.
You guys vote on your next turn if you want me to do the cool thing. Let's.
The levers are all covered by tentacles at the moment, so
Yeah.
they are there.
Harder to move.
I like more targets. That means we can maybe get Louise back up because our healer is not here. And our doctor is sick.
Just assume I'm dead.
I have forgotten you existed already. All right. I'll bank the interesting idea and I will cast Summon Fae.
All right, what does this look like? This is the first time we've seen this shit.
What does it look like? What would be fun? I think when I've cast things before, it's kind of had a bit of an ominous feeling to it. So let's go the opposite direction. There's a burst of light as an entity bursts forth from what appears the deck of the vessel.
Okay. Burst of light. What does this entity look like?
Whatever a Fae typically looks like.
A manic pixie dream
You tell me,
girl.
is it a manic pixie dream girl? Or is it...
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a mini Walmart version of Zed.
Yeah, it's just my dad.
It's Zed in a wig.
You guys are further convinced I have daddy issues.
Yeah.
I like the Zed in a wig idea.
Yeah.
It's
I
Lady
like that
Zed. but
Zed
it's-
dressed up as a manic pixie dream girl.
Right, but not in like a weird way, but in a way where like, you know.
Yeah.
He's rocking it. Mostly.
Yeah. Where does it appear? You have control of this, so wherever you
30
want.
feet
I
of
don't care.
right?
That is a good idea. When it appears, do I have to choose one of the...
Within 30 feet of you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
choose the form.
But I
Yeah, you
choose...
what- you
And-
choose what-
And you choose if you want it mirthful or
oh, God.
fuming
Trixie
or
or fuming.
tricksy. Yeah.
Okay. Within 30 feet of me, you said? Let's
Yeah.
do it on the other side of the Grumpy Yoda. So, like, here, or I guess here, if it can...
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
there,
move
if
it,
can
too.
Occupy that space. No, that's fine. That's where I wanted it, if it could occupy that space.
Absolutely.
And let's go... Well, can you show me a 5-foot cube?
2 5-foot squares. Or
2
4
5-foot
4 foot 5-foot squares together.
It's a terrible description.
Yeah,
Bad.
okay. That's what I was going to do, but
It's
I know
4 squares.
Yeah. So let's make it appear. That's what I was wondering. Okay. So let's go Trixie so that it puts darkness on Yoda.
Okay. Is that what it's doing right now?
That is what it is. I guess.
Does
Is
it
that
go right
its
after you?
turn, or yeah?
It goes right
me.
after you.
Okay.
It is a
I
bonus
think it's-
action for it to do the mirthful thing or the tricksy thing.
Trixie.
Okay, that's what I was curious.
It
about
has an
when I was
action
reading it.
that it can use its Fey Blade equal to... It can do 2 Fey Blade attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was curious
wasn't
about
aware.
because I thought it was when it was called it could do that thing. So that's why I wanted to make sure. Okay, so it still has an action then.
As it makes a little cube of darkness.
Yeah, we'll use the Feyblade. It says multi-attack spirit makes a number of Feyblade attacks equal to half this spell's level rounded down, so it's able to do 2.
Yep.
2 attacks.
Creates a little
And
cube
so-
of darkness right in front of it. It does it want to just... It can get itself too, or it can get rebate in there.
It's gonna get rebate, unfortunately.
Okay. That's
I
fair.
Also, don't know if it can see.
It can't see in the dark.
Which
Oh, can it not?
It cannot.
What does it have? No.
So maybe do
It's
the
safe.
darkness after you strike at it.
Okay, well, yeah. If
Like,
that's
it
an
has
option,
dark vision,
I
but if it's
thought it had to go
magical
as
darkness,
soon
so-
as it was cast. So if
Yeah.
it can do that after, then I'll attack
Absolutely.
first and then bonus action.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Give me those 2 attacks with its blade.
Can I click multi-attack or click Fey Blade?
Click
twice?
Fey Blade. Multi-attack just says you can make 2 Fey Blade attacks.
Gotcha.
It strikes out with a rapier. An 18 will hit it.
Oh, you're on Whisper or something.
Yeah, I don't see where that is on the sheet.
I can make it more like the other sheet. I just dumbed it down to make a
that's
16.
fine.
A
Oh,
16 will miss though.
Okay. So we'll roll the damage for the 18.
So 2d6 plus 3 plus spell level or something like that.
Roll the damage for the 18. Does not appear to be clicking. So what do I need to do for it?
Roll 2d6. 2d6 plus 8.
2d6 plus 8. Okay.
Plus 8. Alright, you cast it too.
Hey. We'll take 17 points of psychic damage.
Give it a taste of its own medicine.
As the area becomes consumed in darkness. Which will take us to all these now no longer not unconscious people.
Okay, they're just gonna get touched by the tentacles and get disintegrated, like your best friend Ethel.
Now this
And that
guy's
one old lady.
gonna run up and attack the pixie, striking out a couple of times, getting a nat 1 and a 17 to hit. It has an AC of 15.
It has an AC of 17. It says on the sheet.
Oh.
Should be.
Oh yeah. Well, 17 still hits, so one of them
plus
hits
spell level.
as it takes 10 bludgeoning and 13 psychic damage, so 23.
Does it have hit points on the sheet?
It does, but just do it from the token.
Okay.
It'll be the green bar.
Yep, gotcha.
It says like 40 out of 30, because 30 is the base.
Gotcha.
And that guy is taking us to Tobias.
Tobias is going to attack the one in front of him.
Okay.
I'm not wanting to get hit by the hammer, so short sword, first attack.
21 will hit. Ten points of damage.
Second attack with advantage.
Absolutely it. Like 6 points of damage.
Please die, as I'm stabbing at him.
As you're stabbing into him, he's
Die.
emotionlessly just whirling
Die.
out with this warhammer, taking these hits. Nat 20
There we
will
go.
hit.
Hit that crit damage. Vex and all those.
As you
there we go.
whirl the blade some more for 23 points of damage. They are still up. They are hurting. Blood spilling everywhere onto the tentacles and the vessel.
Bonus action, hit it again. I don't want to get hit by that warhammer.
Okay, bonus action, hit it again.
18.
As you stab into his chest with the Magentan Sunsaw just whirring. Roll me some damage.
Please die. Please die.
It's like a magnificent chainsaw, blood splattering everywhere. Just gasps as he watches himself get cut open, cutting into his chest as he collapses onto a tentacle and disappears.
Nice.
Do I see him reappear?
No, he probably goes somewhere else on the ship.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. So, if I wanted to throw a potion to
Action.
Tomas, it's an action.
Through the cube of darkness that you can't see. Fast.
Right. I was talking about after I moved.
I would say, I mean, it'll be an action for... You can roll it on the ground, item interaction, but
Yeah, I just
whether
want
they
to
can
get
catch
it
it or not, I don't know.
I mean, that's up to them.
Bypass Tomas and just throw it directly at.
It doesn't work like that. This isn't Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Baldur's
Just
Gate rules.
throw it into his mouth.
Right.
Yeah, just,
Give me
just
give me a
aim well.
dexterity save.
Dexterity save incoming.
If it opens up on the wounds,
You're
maybe
good.
it'll heal.
21.
You are good.
Tomas, give this to Louise. And I'll toss him a healing potion.
Give me a sleight of hand check. Because there are tentacles around, and there's that cube of darkness there.
That's fair.
With a 19, you kind of toss it up as it clinks and bounces onto the ground next to the ballista.
Should have just done it to our dozy friend who has multiple hands.
Tomas goes first. Anything else for Tobias?
That's it for Tobias.
That's going to take us to Aethel.
That's me. Well, I don't know any of that's happening, so we're gonna go with my original plan. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians,
Okay, you cast the Guardians of the Spirits.
and then I'm gonna fly up here, try and get as many of them in the Guardian of Spirits as I can.
Absolutely. Fly on up.
I get 30 feet. How high do I need to go to
You need to
get?
go 20 feet up.
Means I can get over 10 feet.
Yeah.
I can get there. Approximately. I can get basically here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's...
that looks good.
Actually,
Roll me some Spirit Guardians damage.
this is probably better. Yeah. When their turn starts. So I guess if we're doing it now.
And when you move into them, yeah.
Whichever way you want to do it.
It's both. So it's not when their turn starts. It's when at
Yeah,
the
when
end,
their
if they end their turn there, or if you move into them. So go and roll me some Spirit Guardians damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will determine whether I have to roll a bunch of things.
Don't add all that. It gave an extra 7.
Oh.
That's not correct. I need to double check my Heavenly Wings, because I don't think... I know Potent Spellcasting definitely doesn't apply to it, because it's cantrips.
I thought your wings applied to all damage. Or is it just... It's like equal...
I only do it to a
proficiency.
single target. But
Yep. So it'll be 12 points of damage.
Yeah, so it's 12 points guaranteed. And the one that's next to me will take an extra 3.
Okay.
It'll take the extra...
That will do it for them. 1, 2, 3, 20, 20, 18, 10, 6, 19. Yeah, you kill a few of them.
I can live with that.
As they collapse onto the ground up there. As these mechanical angels lash out at them with gear-like power.
I am he who comes with the dawn. That's everything.
All right.
Don't have any bonus actions that are good, so I'll just stay in there. And then, I don't know, maybe I can see that there's a black box over there now.
Now you see there's a black box over here. I cannot see in here. Where did he go? Stand still. I'm gonna try to slam out. Actually hitting him like 2 times. Pretty good.
Because rebate.
Yeah, Rebate
Like
keeps
all-
trying.
Is the main character.
Yep.
Well, I was gonna say, like, all creatures from Mechanus are just built different.
Which will take us to this Githyanki warrior as he leaps across towards Tobias
Yep.
with this blade of psychic energy in hand. We'll stab out with you twice, getting an 11 and a 9 to hit.
Missing
Missing! Which will take us to the only real surprise guess we need to know about. As Odross the Mindful peers over the top of this balcony, you would hear this tickling in your head, Aethel. I don't take anything lightly. You will suffer, as will your whole crew, as I devour their ship. And yeah, he's just gonna use his arcane tentacles in your brain.
I'd rather he didn't, but okay.
Not consensual.
Yeah.
I
As
don't
you-
know that I'm okay with that.
Gaining an 11 with his first attack.
That's not enough if it goes against AC.
A nat 1 with his second attack.
Yep, that's still not enough.
A 19 with his third attack.
That one will hit though.
As
No 3 times.
You're right. I should.
you take 39
Alright.
points of psychic damage.
How much? Sorry.
39.
39?
39 points of psychic damage. I'll go to 0. And
Goddamn.
got mental hands. Bleh. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I saw what you did right before you turned off your camera in the.
Jeez.
As
It was a misclick, but it was still funny.
It was kind of funny. Eh.
you look up and you can see this. As you guys are fighting aboard this vessel, aboard the Magdalena, unsure of where Aethel is, you hear this psychic crackle and look over. Does Aethel have any last words? Or any last moments in this life?
Oh,
What
please,
do they
okay.
see?
He sees the Grand Cathedral, the Grand Clockwork Cathedral, that he grew up in long ago. He's on the path in front of it. Doors of it open. And he looks at it, and then he looks back. And then he basically he says, I did what I could. And then he walks towards the cathedral.
What do the others see as they look up? I imagine it's just some sort of like psychic tentacle pulling him up.
Yeah, so like I think like the tentacles basically grabbed him and kind of like he was already kind of flying, so it kind of
Yeah.
grab him anyway and kind of lift him up further as they hit him. And then it's like he is disassembled. Parts of him that were very obviously like flesh and blood fall apart like they were gears and cogs, and he kind of just crumbles.
As you see this tentacle crumbling Aethel piece by piece, lifting him up through the air aboard this massive vessel. But you guys don't have time for that. There's still battle aboard the ship.
You might have time for that if you guys had to.
That is also true.
We might have all sorts of time.
I might have time for that.
Which will take
Okay.
us to this
We'll die together, buddy.
Githyanki knight wielding the
We
silvery
join
blade.
We'll leave at the same time.
We'll walk over to Oblate swinging
That's a mistake.
around. We'll find out. Getting a 23 to hit Oblate.
Yeah, that got me.
Oblate, you take 13 points of piercing, slashing damage, and 16 psychic damage.
I will deflect the attack as best I can.
Reduce it by 1d10 plus 11.
11.
Pretty good. So you only take 14 points of damage.
There goes the tempt.
And I need a strength saving throw.
All my strength.
That's his one weakness, being strong.
It's actually, the 14 is good.
That's
You once
pretty
again
good.
feel yourself being
Thank God.
pushed and pulled up, which will take us to your turn, Oblate.
I will retaliate with a swift and severe cannonbow strike.
All right. Quickly holstering your pistol, whirl around with your Kanabo. 25 will hit.
I will. Wait, stunning strike. That doesn't have to be declared before, does it?
No, you can stunning strike right now. You can be like, I'm going to
okay.
stunning strike, yeah.
Yeah, stunning strike him.
You declare it after you hit them.
Yeah, because you have to. It has to be on a hit. Yeah.
So they make a con save. They are good at these. They got a 22. But the next attack will be at advantage, and you still do damage. And you can push them if you want for 12 points of damage. You can side
No,
strike
I'm gonna
him.
keep him right where he's at.
All right.
Just 10.
Just 10 points, because no Kensai.
Oh, sorry.
You're good, you're good.
Don't know. And then I will
He threw the Kanabo.
swing
Yeah.
again.
You do have advantage,
Oh yeah, you're right.
because you stunning strike. And so even if they fail, or even if they pass, you still have advantage on the attack.
Yeah, you get advantage in the next one.
24
Yeah.
absolutely hits.
Money. Woo.
They take 7 more points of
Damage used more, but
damage.
that's okay.
And then, because this guy is probably still fine, I will bonus action.
He is still fine.
Flurry of blows.
Well, fine-ish. They've been very wounded at this point.
He seems average in looks,
Average,
in
yeah.
my opinion. Just saying.
21 will hit.
21 and 26.
Yes, both of those hit.
Those are good. Those are good. Pick it back.
7
Some big damage.
and 11 for 18 points of damage, just bopping into him. As yeah, he's looking pretty wounded at this point.
I
Anything
no
else for
longer wish
Oblate?
for you to exist. That'll be it. All I can do.
That will take us to the old man. The old man is going to just whirl around blindly. Does he need sight?
He's doing the sideways Bart Simpson where you put your arms out and you spin in a circle.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
I can't imitate
He
it here because I would get
helicopters,
too
yeah,
dizzy.
yeah.
Yeah, he helicopters around
I can do it now.
at disadvantage towards whatever's around him. We'll go for the Modron missing, and the Fae also missing, getting a nat 1 and a 10. Taking us to Tomas. Tomas will jump over, pick up the vial, and give it to Louise.
And drink it.
Yeah, and drink it himself. Louise, you get 8 points of healing.
He
Okay.
doesn't want to be murdered.
Exactly. He's like, thanks, buddy. Ah.
As
No, I
the
should have been more specific, I guess.
Nautiloid, I'm not going to make you guys roll the saving throws anymore.
Well, that's because only two of them could probably shoot this turn.
Yep. That is also true. One of them does hit,
50% of them.
as the Magdalena takes 28 points of piercing damage. And the tentacles grasp down. Almost getting a nat 20. Got a 19.
20,
As the Magdalena takes 34 points of piercing damage.
34, and what was the other one?
28.
28.
As you guys can feel the hull of the ship cracking and breaking. It's below half, right?
Yes, you said 38 is the other one?
Mm-hmm. 34.
Or 30,
34 and
34.
28.
Yeah.
For a total of 62.
Yeah. It's definitely under half.
Which will take us to Louise.
Boy, oh boy.
As you wake up with, come on, you're not murdered yet, I think. As you look up just in time to see aboard the deck of the Nautiloid, Aethel floating up and being rent apart by a psychic tentacle. Did you see Odross at the very tippy top of the deck of the ship?
Alright, I guess I have to put my game face on. I'll pull out my loot and start jamming as I will enter my Mantle of Inspiration.
Okay.
As kind of a giant golden silhouette of Louise appears around Louise. And bonus action, I will...
Well, that is your bonus action for Mantle of Inspiration, right?
Wait,
are you doing Mantle of Inspiration or the other one?
Oh, sorry, not Mantle. Mantle of Majesty.
Okay.
Sorry. My apologies. Different mantle.
Gotcha.
So, for my bonus action, I will command this one right here next to Tobias to grovel.
Okay. They got a 12. They will grovel on their turn.
Okay, and then I'll do a Cure Wounds into myself.
Okay.
16 points.
16 points of healing.
It's pretty good.
Okay. And that'll be my turn.
Will take us to Malcolm.
Heyo. So what just happened to that guy? What's his little token?
You don't know what's
he's
happening.
been-
He looked over at Louise. He'll do what happens next time.
Okay.
He was given a command.
He was given a command.
Whether he'll follow that,
he
you
was
don't know.
Yeah, told to grovel. Gotcha.
Kneel before Louise.
Let's. Oh shoot! Can't without, and I don't want to. Even though I don't see tentacles in this immediate space, would it still be difficult terrain?
I'd say you're okay there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to try to move over there to get a shot on this one, because I don't want to interrupt what Louise has got going on with the wide-eyed, green-eared guy. Let's see. Move to whoop. Not on the darkness. Well, whatever the space is that I can occupy that's closest to the darkness. I guess I'll move there.
Absolutely.
And fire off at the gift on the other side of the Fae.
Firing off at the Gith on the other side of the Fae. Let's see these two.
Before I do that, is the darkness still there? Because I saw
Darkness is there until the end of the phase next turn.
Cool. All right, so yeah, I'll fire off at that one then.
At least I believe.
Eldritch Blast.
It lasts until the end of its next turn, yeah.
It's next turn, perfect.
2 blasts. 16 hits.
So 22 hits.
Actually, they're gonna shield the 16. 22 will hit, though.
Okay.
You pushing them away?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. So they take... One of those does hit.
Okay, let me take off Hex real quick, because they're not hexed. And the 22 hits, so we'll do the damage on that. Damage is not rolling for some reason.
I was having a hard time with that, too, so I have to, like... It's just a D10 plus a D plus whatever. 7 points of damage. Anything else from Malcolm?
Damn, really should have bonus action text them because I can move that with bonus action. All right. That's my bad. That will be it for Malcolm.
All right.
So
your
still
face spirit
by...
still gets to go. They have an action.
Yep. It is still surrounded by darkness.
Yep.
And okay. So it is.
Does it not go away now? Does it go at the beginning or the end of her turn?
It goes at the end of their next turn. So at the end of the phase turn. So they could technically at this moment create 2 squares of darkness for a brief moment. Yeah.
Another bonus action. Yeah.
Or you can keep on the same space.
I'll keep there. I'm gonna move the fade down.
Yeah.
Towards the gift because I wanted a little bit closer to these other guys that are getting damaged. So the fade's just gonna kind of give chase. Whoops. Close that. Let's open that back up. And do the Fey Blade.
Okay.
So 2 of those.
As they have this kind of shield warping around them. A 22 will hit, but a 15 will miss.
Okay.
Again, the damage won't work, so 2d6 plus 8.
2d6.
The spell I forgot about, otherwise I probably would have checked it out, make sure it worked.
The spirit has advantage on the next attack roll for the end of its turn. Now, the only question I have is, like, for fuming,
it's not fuming, it's Trixie.
So I can't do...
You chose Trixie when it came in.
You call it one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now she is that version.
You summoned a Trixie version of a Fey
Gotcha.
Spirit.
2d6, you said?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Plus 8, so for 12 points of damage. And that will end it for the Fae. Is they making darkness in the same space, or are they making a new square of darkness?
Who do we got up there? Tobias is pretty messed up. Don't want to interrupt what they have going on. Let's move the... Let's move the darkness to the one that I just attacked. Just trying to crowd control one at a time.
Okay. As the darkness vanishes, that will take us to their turn. And as it appears around them, they're going to strike out at the Fae at disadvantage. Getting a 19 and a 10 to hit.
19 will hit.
As they deal 4 bludgeoning and 5 psychic damage to the Fae Spirit.
Okay.
What's neat is it doesn't also require concentration. And actually, got this for our initiative. Top of the round. As you hear the cracking and breaking of the Magdalena. You do see this glint of light, the swirl, like a tear, as a massive fish-like creature, glowing bright light all around it, starts tearing through, like swimming through the edges of this torrent along the sides of the walls. It looks like it has big teeth, but it's almost like it's actually... You can almost see through them. They're translucent like teeth. Glistening, multicolored carapace. Eyeless creature appears off the side of your vessel.
What a description. Hey, that's also basically a ship.
Wow. That's a nifty ship.
God, I hope it's friendly.
It looks very much like a creature. But it does start kind of swimming beside. the Magdalena and kind of underneath. And actually, what we're gonna do... We're gonna end there tonight.
Makes sense.
As with the unfortunate collapse of Aethel and this creature appearing, your vessel being rent and torn apart as you are battling aboard it, looking dire for the Magdalena.
Real dire.
I get it because it has dye in it, and that's what we're all gonna do.
Or like Dire
Yep.
Dire Docks from Mario.
Oh,
Like,
best video game music ever.
let's go into something little happy thoughts. As
I mean, I'm already dead, so.
Aethel died. That's not really a happy thought.
yes, as this
Everybody
again
we know is dead.
possibly, but we'll see how this goes next week. So stay tuned, folks, for the unfolding of this event. But yeah,
Good night, Internet.
thanks for watching.
See you next week.
See you next time.
Sevens in chat.
Night
See
Twitch.
you next time.
There you go.
Bye.